What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Building Code. I'm Charlie Burtwhistle.
I'm Carly Ward.
Carly Ward, you are a pro. You jumped right in there. Didn't even need the introduction. This is what, third, fourth? Fourth episode. Are you feeling good?
I'm a stand-in.
Are you, you can be honest with me, are you trying to take my spot? Let's just get that out in the open right now.
I'm not trying, but I think other people are
pushing for it. Yeah, I can sense some hostility. You beat me to the studio today. Everything was all set up. Charlie is a close enough name switch that they can just delete some H's from the content. Everything's good to go.
The branding's too good. And, if we get you out of here, then, we just drop an H and an E and we're good.
We're good to go. On a serious note, we do have some big changes coming to the building code. So starting July 10th, we are shifting to a monthly format. So as opposed to kind of our weekly quick hitters, 20, 30 minutes, we're going to do monthly, more hour-long interviews, conversations, recurring segments.
Content is going to be a lot more focused, a lot more meat and potatoes, if you will. So excited to move to this new format, and not that you will be lacking any awesome content, because we'll still be serving it up.
For sure. And it's not just going to be like interviews. It's going to be more recurring segments, product insights. What have we been doing here at Buildertrend?
Industry knowledge,
some fun. If you remember the fish bowls idea that Courtney had, I'm sure that'll be making an appearance again. So make sure to
dare. You never know.
Truth or dare, who knows? We could have all sorts of different stuff. So thank you guys so much for being such loyal listeners. We're not going anywhere. We're just hoping to bring more additional value to you. And like Carly said, more meat and potatoes. So that will be coming, like I said, July 10th. But in the meantime, we have a fantastic guest today. This is a couple I actually met up in Boston at the Contractor Coalition about 6 or 7 months ago. Carla, who do we have today?
We have Ryan and Hannah out of Fort Worth, Texas. From our house, your home. Excited to see somebody out of the Fort Worth area, as DFW is my former stomping grounds from my in-market coaching days. So excited to talk to them, and they have some amazing homes, and they actually have some pretty exciting news as well that you'll hear coming up.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's a really cool story. So I'm excited to get into it with them. Not only incredible business owners, but just incredible life partners as well too. So I'm excited to talk to them again. So without further ado, let's get them in here. Ryan and Hannah, welcome to the Building Code. Really appreciate you guys making the time to join us today. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having us, Charlie.
Busy. Yeah. I feel like that's kind of status quo for you two, though, which I'm sure we'll get more into here. But I originally met you guys up in Boston at the Contractor Coalition Summit last year. So this is cool to see it finally come to fruition after the night of planning out at the bar. But for those people who have not met you before, we always like to start with just real basic kind of who you are, where you came from, and kind of how you got to where you're at today.
Yeah. Well, we're Ryan and Hannah Schwanbeck. We are in Fort Worth, Texas area. Hannah always says Dallas. I'm always like, we're Fort Worth. It's a big difference. We're here.
From here, don't understand the difference.
So yeah, we started our company in 2018, and we're a design build company. So we're kind of 50% construction company and then 50% design, interior design firm.
Mm-hmm.
And was this something that I always like to hear the origin story of the business? Is this something that was kind of always on the roadmap for you guys, or an idea that came to you out of nowhere one day and you jumped at it, or how'd that happen?
Ryan married a ready, fire, aim person. As a stay-at-home mom of 3, I was just loving my babies, but then also felt like I had a little bit of a creative knack that was going unanswered. And so I organically started a business out of our house. So I basically was decorating rooms in our home and then selling the whole room. So everything from the chandelier down to the rug and accessories in between. And so we kind of started branding it as there was success. So we were selling curated rooms, and then our curated rooms would go really quick, and then that garnered design clients. And then design clients would have me come in. Ryan tripped onto one of my design client projects, bringing me a surprise Starbucks, and saw I had trades and was like, yo, what you doing? And I'm like, oh, a little bit of this, that. And so he was just constantly bringing order. And so we started getting more requests for renovations. And
I literally thought she was just picking out some furniture for a client's house. So I was like, hey, let me run you some coffee. And she's got trades in there ripping the floors out and putting up wainscoting and painting. And I was like, do we have a contract?
Like,
Do we have insurance? Like, what are we doing?
Like, that's like, she and I, we talked, we're good. We'll figure it out. And Ryan's like, alert.
Are we making money here?
Like, went to college for this. So, he really used just his business experience. He was in finance and business. We also worked at our church, so he was great with teams. And so we really I didn't, all of his skill sets there. He brought order to what I was creating. And so we got to be a lot more official at that point. And then we started getting larger and larger renovations. COVID actually propelled our business. Kind of the world was shut down. People were bored at home and stuck watching Instagram, which is where we were sharing what we were doing. And so from then on, it just kind of catapulted us. I actually had exceeded his income at that time. And so he stepped away and joined me. It was a huge leap of faith. And we just went all in. And just grown since then.
For us, there was really no business plan laid out. It was more of these opportunities just kind of kept coming our way. And then at some point we looked at each other because we were just hustling on the side. And, we had 3 kids at the time. We started our business when we had our 3rd kid.
Yeah, she was 6 weeks old when I started deciding to sell furniture out of our house.
And we kind of just looked at each other and we're like, what if I also quit my job? We go all in on this. What are we capable of? Like, you just really don't know until you put yourself 100% into something. And Hannah has a background in event planning and design and all this. So she's a very natural creative and great with people. So she's just finding ways to get to people's houses. And I would do this and this. And we really had some amazing clients who trusted us at the start to give us. We did a huge lake house renovation when COVID hit, and that was a pretty scary time because nobody knew what was going to happen. But we were able to continue on that project and just knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
and that was it was kind of a weird time, but it really propelled us in that season.
Yeah, and I would say one of the main reasons that we just kind of kept saying yes to these opportunities is it was really buying us time back with each other. So previously with our different career paths, especially before I was a stay-at-home mom, we really had opposite schedules. So events are primarily on evenings and weekends, plus you hold office hours. And then same thing with what he was doing. It's just, we didn't see each other. And so it was one of the straws that kind of just broke was when we realized, oh, I've only seen you once this week. And that was at the same point that we were having a lot of interest with our curated rooms. And so, he started doing the math. Lord knows I wasn't, realizing like this could be something for our family. And so, yeah, it was a really fluid time, but it was amazing because we just got to lean on each other and the rest is history.
So I'm curious, you guys started off as life partners, transitioned into business partners as well. What did you guys learn the most about each other through this process?
I would say to really stay in our lane and play off of each other's strengths. So while I certainly ask Ryan for his feedback, and he gives us huge feedback on design when I open it up to him and show him where I'm at, and sometimes he'll help me with that missing link. He really leaves total control to me on the design side. I fully and completely trust him on how he runs the business, the systems and processes we're implementing ways that we can get more efficient. And so I would really just say, instead of kind of not competing, but instead of me kind of trying to tell him how he could improve or him telling me how I could improve, it's really just trusting this is what he was absolutely made for, and this is what I'm made for. And if I can kind of stay within my lane and him within his, it's pretty harmonious.
Well, and to just encourage each other more than we correct each other. Probably just good marriage advice in general. But it's hey, I'm totally here on your team. How can I help you do your job and serve you to make your life easier and to make your stuff work? And like just we try and trust each other, and we've had to really work on our communication skills, and not let things fester from the workplace and into personal family life. And so it's challenging, but I think it's really made us grow like closer together.
And it's extremely rewarding. It's like I married him because like he is who I love the most in the whole wide world. And this is who I would prefer spend my time with. And so it's kind of like when we were, especially those ships passing in the night season, it's like, gosh, I married you because I like you. But like, I hardly see you. And even though people I'm working with are absolutely wonderful, I didn't marry them. And so it was really just kind of one of those things of when we started seeing that time back and also playing off of each other's strengths, we started realizing like you absolutely can exist in unity. Especially if we're not critiquing each other, like Ryan was just talking about. And we're pretty good with quickly course correcting. If I start getting out of my boundary or him out of his, we're just like, hey, like, I got this. Or he'll say like, hey, I got this. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's a good boundary. But at the same time, we have complete open lines of communication where I want his feedback. I want his encouragement. And if he sees something I'm missing, absolutely open to hearing that all the time. So, yeah.
It kind of sounds like you guys could maybe, as your next side gig, have kind of a wild like marriage counseling approach where if people are struggling with their marriage, you have them start a business together for a while, work through those communication and expectations.
Through the design process, honestly, it probably comes up. So, you could have a good market already.
Maybe that's a new vertical Buildertrend could get into. It's like, hey, struggling with your marriage? Sign up for Buildertrend.
Equal part custom home builder, equal part marriage counselor.
Yeah. But on a serious note, like everything you guys are describing is funny. I don't think I've ever really noticed these parallels so clearly before talking to you. Is like all the things that we talk about on the podcast with our customers that are building just world-class businesses and operations. It's clear communication, proper expectation, very distinct roles and responsibilities so people know what to do to succeed and where they need help. Everything that you guys are alluding to is also just super applicable in the marriage. And it's cool that you guys are very forward with that as became part of your brand as well too. Is like, and even the name of your company, Our House, Your Home, is super powerful. So I'd love to dive into that a little bit more of like, where did that come from and what other kind of messages or brand are you hoping to send to your client to set yourselves apart and be like, hey, we're doing this in a different way, in a way that's more beneficial for us, beneficial for you. And I'm sure a big reason why a lot of people choose you is the design build that they want to work with.
Yeah. I think what really motivates us is, I mean, we love cool design, I mean, that's a super motivating, it's passion. I love to build things with excellence and craftsmanship, but the thing that really drives us is family, and just this whole idea of a home is a place where, you build your family, like your kids take their first steps, like in everything we do, we're trying to help people create that community, just even confidence in their home where it's like, I want to host, I want to have everybody here. And I love watching Hannah interact with our clients from a design standpoint, because she's like, hey, what if the living room wasn't just centered around a TV, but it's around community? Like, where are we going to put board games? And how many people do you want sitting in here when your whole family's over? And how could we find ways to, make sure that your grandkids are coming over to the house and they feel like they can have a play space? And I love like everything that she talks about from a design standpoint. Like, we're just here for the family and for people to find ways of connection inside their home. And for us, that's the huge motivator. And Our House, Your Home, for me and our superintendents, because like, again, our company is pretty unique. We truly have a construction wing and a interior design wing, and we've never wanted to break those apart separately because we love doing all the projects that we tackle. It's like, hey, you kind of have to take both of us on. It's like both or nothing. And with our superintendents, it's like, hey, we tell our clients when we're in your home, we want to treat this place like as if it was our own home. We want to treat this house just like that. And even down to, we know how important it is for all the subcontractors and vendors and tradesmen that are coming through the house. They're like family to us. And it's like, they're guys who I would trust in my home. We always kind of brag on our guys, like, literally we've seen our, subs taking people's trash cans in, checking on the sprinklers. It's just like, it's like, hey, like your grass was dying. So like we're checking on those things. So we care about those things.
I would just say, I mean, there's like an extreme ownership, like that.
Yeah.
There's a deep responsibility when we have someone that's entrusting us with their property, with their significant investment. And so there is like that responsibility, that ownership that Ryan really, really embraces. And I mean, it goes from the top down, just even to our vendors who might be bringing us, a batch of our light fixtures or something. I mean, we have truly surrounded us with people that I would feel completely comfortable sending over to your house or, to my grandparents' house. So it is that thing of like, we really treat our clients' properties as if they were our own. But in like a less deep way, I mean, that name came from like literally how our business started. We were selling furniture out of our house.
Our house is truly a showroom.
Yeah.
So we took our dining room
Yeah.
and we renovated it into a studio, and we were setting up bedrooms, offices, dining rooms, like everything, like from the rugs to the light fixture to the, window treatments, all the furniture. She was designing these like very curated, one of a kind, almost like a rooms to go.
Yeah. You got all of it. You got the the light fixture, the things on the wall, like the whole thing.
So you were doing that just in one specific room in your house?
Yeah, it had the best
Okay.
natural light. Between 2 and 3:30 every afternoon is when we knew to take our like professional pictures. And so we had a whole like setup and lighting and all the things. And it was actually before Facebook Marketplace was Facebook Marketplace. It was when you had to go into a group or be accepted into a group back in the day. And so I was involved in 15 of these different groups. And every Thursday at 2, we would drop our curated room. We would usually drop 1, 2, or 3 a week. And then they would all sell within 24 hours or less. And so it kind of garnered this little following. And when they started selling quicker is when people were like, gosh, darn it, I wanted that home office. Can I hire you to just come do mine? And so we just kept saying yes to those.
But our kids got really, because we're selling furniture out of our home. We did that for about 2 years, and our kids just got used to like waking up and having a whole new living room set up, like new couches, like just hilarious.
Mom, it's been a week. When's the dining room going to change?
Yeah.
And they would tell us like, I don't like this kind. I liked the one with the lower arm. Or I mean, it's funny because they're 3, 4, and 5, but it was always cute to hear their feedback on what they did and didn't prefer. So.
It's amazing to hear the passion behind your mission and your business. And obviously it's taken a lot of work to kind of combine forces from both the construction side and the design side. And obviously there's probably a lot of challenges that bleed into your personal life. So I'm curious if you guys have any kind of like standard resets or rituals that you guys practice for those challenging days where work is starting to bleed into personal life.
That has never happened to us before. We really don't have many challenges.
Just on-off switch, really.
It's every
day from the day.
It's every day. It is every day, and I 100% want to brag on Buildertrend because that's a tool for us that's completely reshaped our life at home. Mm-hmm. So we lean hard on Buildertrend. It's a selling point for us with our clients. They love the communication. But for us, it's like, hey, our evenings and our weekends are sacred for us. It is family time. We turn our phones off. Like, we love you. We care about you. But if you have any thoughts, any questions, go check Buildertrend because 95% of the time, like, it's there. The schedule's there, the daily logs.
Weekly recap.
I mean, all the CAD plans are there. So we actually, even on the front end, I guess, as we're growing and, we've been doing this for 7 years now, you start to learn some of those reoccurring things that happen. I used to get texted on Sunday morning all the time. I'm in church. I'm getting texts at, 9, 10 a.m. asking like,
are y'all finished?
Is the electrician finished?
It's like,
why is the light switch here? Yeah. and you're just like, oh man, it felt like work never shut off. Well, you start to learn those habits, and then now we're able to communicate proper expectations with our clients up front. Hey, on the weekends, go look at Buildertrend. I promise, like, it's most likely there's an electrical plan. There's a schedule. You're going to see when they're coming back. If you have a question, shoot us a message, and now our whole team gets it. A lot of times we're in meetings, so now our project manager, our superintendents, our junior designer, somebody's going to reach back to you within 24 hours, and our clients love it. So we get way less text messages, phone calls. Our family time is much more protected, and now our clients feel way more communicated, felt, and heard.
Yeah. And also I think it's even just having that right, like, mental state, right? And sometimes we need to friendly remind one another when we are having that residue from the workday at home. But it's like, it's just one of those decisions of, like, fighting for family first. And we are absolutely in complete unity on that. He fights for me and I fight for him. We fight for time with our kids.
We fight a lot. No.
All of the circumstances. I mean, you're available 24/7. We live in a smart age. Like, technology is rapidly advancing, and so you have to decide to turn it off. You have to decide to be remote when you're not remote. Like, and so I think it's also just that approach that really helps us when we need to reset at home, and realizing when we're not, maybe it's that a conversation is starting because we're trying to process the day, we're trying to close the window so we can be home, but sometimes we'll say, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, da-da-da-da. And if you're not careful, it can, like, really back into the day really quick. And so, yes, putting those tools in place like Buildertrend are huge, but then I also think of just kind of keeping those daily reminders in front of you. And then allowing yourself to be humble enough whenever he needs to be like, hey, we're at home. We're with the kids. Oh, yeah. Instead of being all defensive about it. So I think it's all of the things mixed up.
I wanted to say, too, yeah, we do a good job. So weekly date nights, it's huge. Another marriage tip.
We have to. We have
yeah,
to.
you got to
non-negotiable.
Remind yourself, like, we're not just business partners, and we're not just raising kids and taking care of a house. Like, so date nights are important.
They are sacred.
But what we found is we don't talk about work frustrations, like, oh, this client or this, how are we going to solve this problem? But we will talk about those things that charge us up, like dreaming. Like, we have some awesome new projects coming up that we're so excited about. So we'll talk about those things, because that, for us, it's not work. That's something like a joy, like a passion, a dream. And so we're on our date nights. We're, Hannah's looking up properties and, showing me stuff. And for us, that's energizing.
Yeah. So I think it's that, but it's also like, if we're talking about the kids or something like that, what's not going to be our date night is what we're trying to help that kid grow through or something. If anything, it's celebrating the wins. Like, how cool is it that Nolan got the game ball on Thursday? Almost like really just guarding how sacred those nights are, and that it's really our fill-up time, and it absolutely keeps us sane, and it reminds each other why we got married and why we like each other when we're out having fun, playing pickleball or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, we used to be super competitive at our university on the sand volleyball court. Like, that was part of our story. So it's even just doing those things that are little fill-ups for sure.
I love to hear how intentional you guys are about your time together and really delegating the right topics for the right spaces, because as we know, it's way easier to, like, get into all the crummy parts of your day or your week. But to your point, like, what's going to fill your cup and make that time together so impactful. It's incredible to hear. And it's such a simple thing that I think every listener could take away and implement in some area of their life.
For sure. Like, it's not just, you don't have to be married for that to be super applicable to your life, right? The intentionality and the structure is going to prevent burnout, regardless of if you own a company or if you just work a 9-to-5 or you're married or not. The intentionality of that all, I think, is ultimately going to set anybody up for success. And also, not to move past it, huge shout out to Nolan for getting the game ball. Let's celebrate that for sure.
Yeah.
As we're talking about kind of different tools that you guys have that appreciate, obviously, the shout out for Buildertrend. We're huge fans of yours as well. Another thing that we talked about up in Boston, which I think also came to fruition, was your involvement with CBUSA. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for us, the relationships at CBUSA have been huge. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of younger in the game, right? So,
by far. Yeah.
even when we started in 2018, the first thing we realized was, hey, we need to start following along and almost finding some mentors, and that can even be through a podcast. So we found some, there's
the titans in the industry who've been doing this 10, 20, 30 years.
So it's like, let's go ahead and learn from those people who've been doing this and learn from their mistakes. And man, what you can get from a small podcast can absolutely change your business for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. So I just started binging on all of these podcasts from builders and also designers. And we based a lot of our business on their models because I'm like, they've already figured this out, right? So for us, finding a mentor could be somebody on a podcast or, YouTube, somebody that you follow along. Then we have joined some builder networks and, joining CBUSA and getting into those relationships with people who have been there. And I picked up the phone just last week and talked with another builder in our area, in our Fort Worth group, and just like, hey, on one, Monday mornings are always a hard day as a builder because all the homeowners got to think about their projects all weekend, blow up your email, blow up your Buildertrend, all the stuff. So I wake up on a Monday morning, have 3 major client issues all in one day, and
project issues.
It's project issues. All of them that are like
different clients.
Like you're always in the gray zone as the builder of like, gosh, ultimately we want to do the right thing. And sometimes that's a hard thing to figure out. So I picked up the phone and called one of the guys in the group and just like, hey, I just want to bounce these 3 scenarios off of you. Tell me if I'm crazy. Seriously, like check me on it. And we talked through each one of those, and he was able to share similar stories and just give really good, solid advice. And by the end of that, not only did I have some solutions, but I just felt encouraged as a person. Like, we're not in this alone. And designing, building people's homes, they're emotionally attached. Their finances are all wrapped up into it. Husband and wives, families are trying to make all these hard decisions, and there's project delays, all this stuff, right? So just to relate with other builders, that I love these connections because like there's so many builders who really care and they want to go above and beyond, and they've been through these scenarios and they can just give me some advice and maybe something I've never thought about too. So for me, the whole, CBUSA is great, rebates and all this stuff, but it's the relationships for me that's been really key.
I love it. I think as we're getting close to time here, a couple more questions I want to make sure we squeak in. You talked about on date nights, you guys love talking about the future and things that you're excited about and passionate about. And as you guys have evolved so much so quickly over the last 5 to 7 years, I'm curious, what do the next kind of 5 to 10 years look like? Like, what are you guys currently thinking about, and where do you want to take this that, is on your roadmap that you're thinking about?
Yeah.
Well, I think, there's a couple things. As we grow as a company, we have an awesome culture here in our team, and we want to grow this business where we bring more people on board, and it's a place where people can show up and actually enjoy their work. Where people can just walk in the door and say, I absolutely love my job. I love the people that I work with. I love the clients we work for. So as our business grows, it's expanding, very fast. We just want to maintain that where there's just a natural energy when you step in the door, and everybody's just excited to go after it. And Hannah's a crazy dreamer, so she is just, always thinking of crazy, impossible projects for us to tackle. So
that's why I was so excited for him to answer this question.
Our next one,
he's the how. I'm like, here's the what, and he's like, I'm the how. But yeah,
tell them about our our project that we're launching when we
Okay.
bought the land?
Yeah, so we actually are about to build 2 different luxury spec homes. So we actually only announced one on our social channels, but there's 2 in the works. And so they're really going to be projects without compromise. They're going to be things that you don't have to do, but we want to do. I mean, it's the extra character, it's the extra millwork, it's the things that feel like a lot of thought went into that. Because one thing that I have realized throughout our design journey, even though I didn't go to school for interior design, he didn't go to school for construction. One thing we've definitely studied over our entire career is just people and what really inspires them and really what people want to garner out of their home. And whenever we're onboarding clients, there's definitely some things that we feel that I feel like I get back consistently. And it's that they want their home to feel like a retreat. They want it to feel warm. They want it to feel welcome. That when they host a party, they want people to linger. So it's like most of the time, if we just kind of go into a general home where the bare minimum is there, you kind of are there for the task and then you leave. But in those homes where you start realizing like the intricacy of the millwork, or whether it's like a lime wash finish on the walls or something like that, I mean, people kind of stare and you talk about it, or it just gives you this cozy, warm feel where you want to sit in there and you want to finish, your glass of red wine or whatever. And so we're very, very excited that these are going to be completely our house, your home designs and our house, your home builds. And then they'll be up for sale for a client. So it's not going to be a collaborative effort with the design with our clients, even though we absolutely love them. It's our clients. It's going to be a really exciting opportunity to just show what we do. And maybe, a couple of those light fixtures that might have been an aversion to somebody else, like they're going to get hung up because they're awesome and they do exactly what we want them to do. So we're really excited to be launching that. And I really believe like that it's going to be something that catches on down here, like this luxury spec home.
Well, DFW is growing rapidly, and it's full of cookie cutter homes, neighborhoods that get built. I mean, hundreds of homes that are getting built so fast. And it's kind of becoming very, very plain, and it's like, what if we could help change some of that, going above just standard, right? With design.
Instead of just going home to go to sleep and to get fed, like what if you go home to be inspired, to be filled back up, like to really like it almost pulls like these brainstorming sessions out of you. Like, oh, like this makes me feel like I'm in Tuscany. This makes me feel like I'm in France. This makes me feel like I'm, in the Southwest, or I'm in Mexico. So we're really excited. Each one of our luxury spec homes, I legit already have 5 Pinterest boards built out right now. And he's like, squirrel, come back for one that we're breaking ground on. But I mean, they're each going to have a very distinctive style. I think that's one thing that I really am so proud of our team on, is we do so many different styles. We definitely have a signature that comes through them. Like all of our projects, yes, they're beautiful, but they all feel approachable. And even when clients kind of show me these big flashy pictures of lofts and skyscrapers, and they're like, I want my home to look just like that. I'm like, well, that's super cool. We'll give you the marble vent hood, but we're going to do some elements that also bring it down where you and your guests don't feel like you're living in a museum. That's just not who you hired. And so it's going to be really fun to kind of see that through line, all of those different projects. But
who wouldn't love to just buy a custom home and not have to go through 2 or 3 years of
thousands of decisions?
I know, plans, planning, delays, because it gets very emotional. But you're like, wow, we just got to like buy a brand new custom home.
Yeah.
And probably some marriage counseling on the side, right?
Well, I think like design is super, it's deep, it's psychological. And then we obviously work with a lot of couples, and generally the couples are built very differently, just like Ryan and I are. And so it really is a privilege to lead those people through, when we kind of hear that maybe they don't see completely eye to eye on whether it's finances or what the house looks like or anything in between. It is always fun to kind of even just help them celebrate each other. Like, hey, like, he's doing this because he really wants to take care of your family, ultimately. And she's doing this because she wants it to make it like worth your investment. And so it's finding those ways of how can we bring everybody back on the same page, and residential construction definitely gives us the opportunity to do that.
Well, thanks so much for sharing that exciting news with us. I feel lucky that we got the
scoop,
the tea
on
the
sure.
podcast.
well, yeah, that leads in my last question as well, is just where's the best place for people to go to follow along with your journey?
I would say Instagram.
For sure.
Instagram is Our House Your Home, all spelled out. And then we recently started doing more YouTube videos, and those are a little bit more interactive and
little mini webisodes.
Yes, they're not made on my
project.
phone. They're made by someone who actually knows how to operate a camera. So that,
behind the scenes kind of stuff is on YouTube, which is a lot of fun, and a lot of my dad jokes, which
win-win.
That's what brings the people in.
Keeps it entertaining.
At least for him.
Yeah. I still make my kids laugh, so
yeah,
I still got it.
I laughs.
That's the only bar you need right there. Well, we'll make sure to link both of those in the show notes so our listeners can go and check those out. But otherwise, we're right at time here. I want to thank you guys again so much for joining and sharing your insights with us today. I got a ton out of this. I'm sure our listeners did as well too. So great seeing you guys again, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it. Thank you, Carly.
Well, we just heard from Ryan and Hannah from Our House, Your Home, talking about, everything under the sun. That was such a good interview, one that I knew would go off the rails quickly in a good way, because I knew whatever content came out of their mouth to be better than any sort of questions that we could have pre-written. Incredible business owners, incredible life partners. I learned a ton. What do you think, Carly?
Oh, I got some takeaways for my own relationship.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
For sure. What specifically stood out to you?
How intentional they are about the time they spend with each other. I know personally, for me, it's easy to come home and really get into the weeds about all the crummy stuff for my day or the past week. And I love that they set the boundary with each other that, especially on their date nights, we're only going to talk about our wins. We're only going to talk about the things that we're celebrating, because we have plenty of other spaces where we can get into the weeds about some of the more challenging things. So I love how intentional they are with their time, and definitely something that I want to implement into my own personal life as well.
For sure. I personally, I think everyone has a habit of wanting to come back and complain about the day. And that's just amplified when the other person actually knows what's been going on in your day.
Totally.
Like when I go home and talk to Audrey, she has no idea what I'm talking about. She's like, oh yeah, that stinks. But I would imagine it'd be even harder if it was someone at Buildertrend or at the same business that you're working at. So I think that intentionality is key, and it's cool seeing them build this brand and this culture around their team and around their clients, that all of that is applicable. It's one kind of constant stream. And clearly it's working out really well for them.
Well, incredible to hear that they started a showroom out of their house. I love the fact that every other week their kids are coming down. Oh, we got a new dining room. We got a new kitchen.
That sounds awesome. I would have loved that as a kid.
I mean, they're going to be junior designers by 12.
Exactly. No, Ryan and Hannah are awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing them around again in person. It seems like we always run into each other at various conferences and events and things like that. So until next time, Ryan and Hannah, as listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you could review, and subscribe, that would be a huge favor. And then again, what's the date? July 10th, we'll be shifting towards our new monthly episodes. So make sure you are subscribed so you get notified right away when that comes out. Otherwise, until next time, I'm Charlie Burtwhistle.
Carly Ward.
Peace.